Most fans look at Texas Motor Speedway and they think it's an absolute mess. You know it, I know it, the industry knows it. Everyone kind of rolls their eyes when they hear Texas Motor Speedway. Yet also everyone has the ways they want to fix it and the different issues that can be fixed. For me, I say make it the 1.5-mile 2016 on-back configuration that they had for the track. I thought it had really good racing. I didn't see any overboard wrecking for the most part, and I think the next gen will be really great there. When I think of Texas Motor Speedway, because of coming into the sport in 2005 as a fan, I don't think of the Furco lawsuit. I don't think of taking a date from North Wilkesboro. I think of the 2007 race there that Jeff Burton and Matt Kenseth dueled at the end, and that had an amazing amount of twists and turns throughout it, lead changes, and great racing. But there is an ever-looming fact about Texas that people I don't think want to understand, or they at least need to understand. There is no easy fix for Texas at this point, and we need to be honest about it. Maybe we shouldn't fix it at all. Maybe we should just wipe our hands of it and call it our nice little, happy little accident. I would obviously, like I said, go back to the old 1.5-mile track that they had. I think it raced well for stock cars, and at the end of the day, that's what matters for an SMI track. And it sounds good, but it would take time for it to come in. There's not a quick fix there, because with a repave, at minimum, it's taken 3 to 5 years for it to start aging enough that the groove would move up the racetrack. It could take 10 to 15 years. I mean, look at Michigan International Speedway, for instance. It's just now, in the middle of the 2020s, starting to get a little more character and have the groove more than wide out, half a lane more than the bottom. And it was repaved heading into 2012. So there is a lot you have to look at with that. You don't know what compounds there could be, what unforeseen issues could happen. I mean, heck, the new one that they have now with this layout, they have weepers in the tracks, just as they had with the old layout that they worked away from because of said weepers. So the track itself might just have structural issues. Others have brought up something that I'm sure SMI has definitely brought up. What if they just Atlantify it? Hey, it worked before, right? Atlanta Motor Speedway, if you don't remember, was definitely a driver's racetrack. People loved driving on it because of just how worn out it was. The slipping, the sliding, the great racing, and great finishes all came from that track because of the way that it wore away so quickly. And, well, it wasn't the greatest show to watch on TV for a lot of people. While fun for drivers, fans didn't agree. And you saw that expressed both pre and post-COVID with the attendance numbers not exactly being the greatest at that racetrack. TV numbers could hold their own, but it was generally because Atlanta was put on favorable parts of the schedule, like very early in the year or even in the early 2010s on a holiday weekend. But the problem is a little bit more with how the track would be fitting into the schedule rather than making it just the super speedway in and of itself. In and of itself, it might be a great idea, especially if it works just like Atlanta, because Atlanta did work. It races really well. It's really, really popular now, but the problem would be that when you add in Daytona, when you add in Talladega, and of course Atlanta, there would at minimum be 7 super speedway races on the 36-point race calendar. If you give Texas another date, which TV-wise, if it would work out, and attendance-wise it would work out, there'd be no reason not to, really, you could have 8, nearly a quarter of the schedule. That would not work out. We don't even know if it would work either, or if it could be replicated. Atlanta might just be a happy little accident. We don't know if the racing would live up to everything that Atlanta has really kind of built for 1.5-mile super speedway racing. And even with that, if they use a different compound, if the weather being different changes how it is, the racing could be very different and could take a long time for it to come in, or it could go away even quicker than Atlanta's current super speedway package would be going away, because we've seen the changes. So there's no guarantee on either of the big ideas for changing Texas that they would even work at this point. The other big question people have to ask, and I understand a lot of people not thinking of it this way and maybe not even thinking of the question itself as being a legitimate one, is there any reason to change it for those in charge? Yes, I know the racing is not good. And it's not just the car, because the car races well in 1.5 miles, it is the track. It doesn't race well, it causes accidents. There's a bump that literally, if you hit it, driving over an area of the track that anyone should be able to drive over, you will wreck. There are all these problems with the PJ1 soaked into the track that change how the racing is. I get that on the racing end of it, and that's what we as fans look at. But that hasn't stopped people from tuning in. Think about it. Attendance numbers right now have been soaring as of late at Texas. This past weekend was arguably one of the best crowds they had in the last 15 years. Maybe not the 150,000 that they used to have in, say, 2012 or 2011, but it could probably be close to 100,000, especially when you factor in the infield and suites. So if people are coming to the track, why would they want it changed at the track? Relatively, TV numbers are solid or high as well, depending on where it's at. Yeah, they might not be where they used to be, but nowhere in NASCAR is. And when you look at how they perform, they're generally on the average side of a normal cable race, like they'd be on FS1. We'll find out this week what the TV ratings look like with stiff racing competition, but generally, Texas can hold its own. So, if people are watching on TV and the eyes aren't going away, if they're attending at the track and their butts are in seats, if they are paying the money to be there, why would anyone want to change it in charge? Why would SMI want to risk their bottom line? Why would NASCAR want to risk something that in general has been pretty consistent? It doesn't make business sense at this point. And I hate saying it because I love the idea of trying to improve upon things, and I do think racing-wise it needs improved upon. We might just have to accept that Texas is what it is. It's the track it's going to be for the long term, for a long time. And we're just going to have to deal with the fact that it's a wild card race, that it's chaotic, that maybe the best guy isn't going to win because there are always those problems that wreck out the aggressive ones that'll be up front usually. We might have to accept all these things. And the part of it that you have to understand with that is that even if we don't like this, the track does have an identity now, which is not something that Texas had before outside of, like I said earlier, replacing two popular North Carolina racetracks on the schedule. Instead, it was just another intermediate. Now, you can definitely point out where it is on the schedule. As Kansas has really ascended up and become one of the best tracks in NASCAR, and the identity is great and fantastic racing and finishes, Texas is the polar opposite when it comes to the chaotic front. And unfortunately, for those who want just straightforward racing, I really don't think it's feasible at this point in any way, monetarily or just realistically. So with that, I want to know what you think. What do you think the future holds for Texas Motor Speedway? Do you think they super speedway it? Do you think that they change it back to a normal intermediate? Or do you think that they just keep rolling as is, status quo, be normal? Let me know down in the comments below. While you're at it, leave a like on this video, share this video, and subscribe to this channel for more great and fun NASCAR content. Thank you so much to all my channel members for your continued support. And until next time, have a good one.